This is part 6 of alien objects spotted in deep space, where in a region in deep space we see these blue objects that seem to be traveling along some sort of tractor beam looking energy, or perhaps it's when an object travels really fast past the camera, but that's not how this works. Each image. So no, that's wrong. I can't say that. That's contrails from a fast traveling ship, because these are thousands of photographs that have been pieced together to create this whole entire photograph of the night sky. So forget what I was just saying. It's a mistake. I'm just trying to understand what these things are and how they are actually in the image. Because you find these blue objects that seem to be attached to that blue line, and there's dozens and dozens of them in this particular region, where they're ganged together like they're flying in formation or something. As you can see here, this is on the Worldwide Telescope by Microsoft, come together with all the ground-based and orbital-based telescopes information, where their databases put together have compiled this photograph of the night sky. And I'd like to try to understand what these blue objects and these blue lines are caused from, because they seem to be similar in appearance, but there's all different ranges of how they look and angles that they seem to be in there, and at different positions along some very strange looking stuff. But there's that object right there. There's another one of them. Give it a second to clarify. But then it just travels and travels and travels, and there's dozens and dozens and dozens of them in different areas where they look like they're some weird looking hologram looking mark in the sky. And they're everywhere. You can see here, they're just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, a dozen here in this area, and the area I was just showing you. And I'm going to go to show you how we're on Google Sky, which is a whole another format database of information that comes from the Hubble Space Telescope, that has these same anomalies on its information. And how can that be? How can these things actually be in the photograph? And the weird thing about them is some areas seem to be actually blocking the light that's coming from behind it, like it's an actual object with an edge that's actually blocking that light, but it seems to be opaque enough to allow light come through, but only in different resolution, where it's only the energy of some light can make it through and some others can't. That's what kind of suggests to me that object is actually in there. And not only that, another thing that suggests it to me is these lines that you see right here, of where the mosaic of all the photographs that the cameras take of the night sky, when they're pieced together by the computer according to where they're supposed to go, there's separate photographs here that they put them all together. How come this object's actually on all 4 of those photographs? Right when they put the photographs together, we see the object that's there, because that object must actually be there. And whatever these objects are, it's hard to explain them. Anyway, we'll go to Google Earth real quick. I'll bring up that so we can see the same region. Oh, that's one of these objects up close. That's that same looking thing, but this is just like a different angle of it, like it's a double, like it's folded in half or folding up or changing shape or something. Because it looks like it's got hinges here and it just folded over on itself, and now there's the other edge behind itself. There. And then we'll go to another one, show you another one in the sky that's bear with me for a second. I'll get to it in a second. There's other objects here that resemble the same thing. But other lines with more of those objects. It looks like that same satellite looking round blue object with the satellite shape on the inside of it. And there's several of them along these lines, which are different lines. And then we'll go to another area that has a full-fledged, full shot of one of those Space City things. No, that's the other one. Oh, here's another angle of one of those things. Up close. Where it looks like it's some weird object that has that same pattern in it, where it has the lines and the little square eyeball looking thing there. It's just this is a closer up version of those other ones that may be further off or being cloaked, or they're just smaller versions of these bigger ones or something. But we'll go to one more to show you a real full-fledged object. Give me a second. There it is. There's the whole entire object. And you see that pattern shape that's on there, but it's more complex on this one than it is the other ones. When we zoom up to it, you actually can see things attached to it, like there's something inside of it, or like smaller ships or something inside of the thing. We go right up to here. Looks like some kind of spaceships are docked on the inside of this object. Because we go outside of the object and we find one more of these things, but it's outside of the range of where this object actually is. And why are there two of them here? Look like they're docked inside of some bay or something. And then we go out to where I saw another one. It's out here. There it is. There's another one of those strange pointy objects, but it's a little bit different. Let's swing it around here a little bit. Right. I'm going to rotate it here. So now you can see an object as if it was flying past us. It's a strange looking object. It looks like some kind of fins or wings or something. It looks like a spaceship or something. And then inside that big blue object, there's two more of that same object pointing the other direction, but with those same fins. See there? It looks even like windows right here, like these are like some kind of spaceships docked on the inside of a giant mothership. Something. Anyway, that's those objects. That's what they look like up close in a more clear region, like they're closer to us or something. But what are these objects? I'm going to go back to where we were on the worldwide telescope and show that same what I was saying about how it's found on a different place. I mean, the same thing is found somewhere else. And I'm trying to figure out what these objects here are. These objects seem strange. These don't seem like stars. They seem like objects that are connected. Because if you look at them real close, they look like they're actually connected together with like scaffold or something, or like just connections, wires, or however they would connect all these objects. Some sort of like scaffolding. These objects don't make sense when it comes to points of light that are normally seen in the sky as being stars. We'll try to find one of them, but there's another one of those objects. What appears to look like a rear view mirror on it or something. It looks like a giant rear view mirror. What is that object that's connected to that? See, when you view a normal star, that's what you see is the cross from the energy of the star. But what are all these other objects that don't even look nowhere near a star? Look like a star. It looks more like some sort of piece to a space station or something. And then we have more of these blue objects further off in the distance here. But very strange looking. And we look all throughout the night sky. And again, we'll point out that there's that line where the photograph is put together by the computer. So why are all these other lines in there? And here on Google Sky, you can't see the blue lines except for a small area of them is still showing through on Google Sky's format, and the blue objects are there, but the lines are gone. But this is the same area that's found on that I was showing you on on the worldwide telescope. And I'll go back to that shortly. There, see, there's those blue lines. This is an entirely different format. Give it a second to clarify itself. Computer has to realize where it's at and give me the information. But there's those blue things. Just look like a farther off version of them, or maybe just a smaller version of those big blue hologram looking things that I showed with the spaceships connected to it. There's dozens of them across the sky here, like they're flying in formation. And this region here is found next to the star. It's just to the left of the star here. I'll give you the coordinates on this star here. And you just look to the left of this star and you'll see it. The star right here is the coordinates as 05 hours, 57 minutes, 59 seconds, and 25 degrees, 57 feet, 11 inches. Again, the RA on this star, is 05 hours, 57 minutes, 59 seconds, and the DEC is 25 degrees, 57 feet, 11 inches. Hope you enjoy this video. I'll be doing part 7, discussing more about this region here, where we'll show more of these objects, and I'll try to have them counted out for you, and where I can give you an exact